204 new billionaires were created in 2024, almost 4 every single week. The media celebrates them, calls them self-made, tells you to follow their example, work hard, hustle, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be next. But here's what they don't tell you. According to Oxfam's 2024 report, the most comprehensive study on billionaire wealth ever conducted, 60% of billionaire wealth does not come from hard work, innovation, or genius. It comes from 3 sources: inheritance, monopoly, and corruption. And here's the statistic that should terrify you. For the first time since records began in 2009, every single billionaire under the age of 30 inherited their fortune. Not one, not a single person under 30 became a billionaire through their own work. 0. We're not living in a meritocracy. We're watching the birth of a new aristocracy, a system where wealth passes through bloodlines, not talent, where your zip code at birth matters more than your work ethic. This is the story they don't want you to hear, about the heirs who've never worked a day in their lives but control more wealth than entire nations, about monopolies that strangle competition and innovation, about the 40% who actually built something and how even they had advantages you'll never have. By the end of this video, you'll never look at billionaires the same way, and you'll understand why the system is designed to keep you exactly where you are. Let's talk about the truth. In January 2024, Oxfam released a report that sent shockwaves through economic circles. It was titled Inequality, Inc., and it exposed something the ultra-wealthy have been hiding for decades. The study analyzed the wealth origins of every billionaire on Earth, all 2,781 of them. Combined net worth, $14.2 trillion. That's trillion with a T, more than the GDP of China. And what they found was damning. 60% of that wealth, $8.5 trillion, did not come from building companies, innovating, or taking risks. It came from inheritance, monopoly power, or cronyism. Let me break that down for you. 36% inherited their entire fortune. They were born into wealth and never created anything. 18% built their fortune through monopoly and market manipulation, controlling entire industries and crushing competition. And 6% got rich through political connections and corruption, the friends of the king who extracted wealth through power, not value. That leaves 40% who allegedly are self-made. But even that 40% is misleading, and we'll come back to that. But first, let's talk about the most shocking finding in the entire report: the under 30 billionaires. 2009 was the first year Oxfam tracked this data. Back then, 30% of billionaires under 30 had built their own fortunes: young tech founders, early crypto adopters, startup phenoms. By 2015, that number dropped to 20%. By 2020, it was 8%. And in 2024, 0%. Every single billionaire under 30, all 18 of them, inherited everything. Not one earned it. This has never happened before in modern economic history, and it signals something terrifying. Social mobility at the top is dead. The door is closing, and if you weren't born into the right family, you're not getting in. Let me show you who these people are. Let's start with Mark Matichutz. You probably don't know his name, but you know his product: Red Bull. His father, Dietrich Matichutz, co-founded Red Bull in 1987, built it into a $17 billion empire. When Dietrich died in October 2022, Mark inherited 49% of the company. Mark was 30 years old. His net worth the next day, $17 billion. Today, at age 34, he's worth $40 billion. Mark has never held a job, has never founded a company, has never created a product. He showed up to Formula One races and signed checks. That's it.
$40 billion for being born. Next, Clemente Del Vecchio, age 20, net worth $4.2 billion. His father, Leonardo Del Vecchio, founded Luxottica, the company that owns Ray-Ban, Oakley, and LensCrafters. When Leonardo died in 2022, his fortune was split among 6 children. Clemente was 18 at the time. He inherited $4.2 billion as a teenager. He's never worked, never managed a company, never made a business decision. But he controls more wealth than 99.9999% of humans will earn in 1,000 lifetimes. Livia Voigt, age 19, net worth $1.1 billion. She's the youngest billionaire on Earth, inherited her fortune from her grandfather, who built a chemicals empire in Brazil. She's never worked a day in her life. She's a teenager, and she's a billionaire. Now let's zoom out. The Walden family, Heirs of Walmart. 7 family members, combined wealth $404 billion. Sam Walton died in 1992. His children and grandchildren have been collecting dividends ever since. They don't run Walmart, they don't manage stores, they cash checks. $404 billion in checks. The Mars family, candy empire, net worth $160 billion across multiple heirs. The Armes family, luxury goods, $151 billion. The Cargill-Macmillan family, agriculture, $47 billion spread across 14 heirs. The Johnson family, cleaning products, $46 billion. These are dynasties, not entrepreneurs, not innovators, dynasties. And here's what keeps them powerful. The money compounds faster than they can spend it. If you inherit $10 billion and it grows at just 7% per year, the average stock market return, you make $700 million annually, without working, without creating, without contributing. You could spend $1 million per day, every day, and still die richer than you started. This is the reality of inherited wealth. It's self-perpetuating, self-expanding, unstoppable. And over the next 20 to 30 years, $5.2 trillion will transfer from the current generation of billionaires to their children. The largest wealth transfer in human history, and it's happening right now. But inheritance is only one piece of the puzzle. Let's talk about the second category, monopoly. A monopoly is when one company, or one family, controls an entire industry. They don't compete, they dominate, and they use that power to crush anyone who tries to challenge them. Let's look at the Waltons again, because Walmart isn't just inherited wealth, it's a monopoly. Walmart controls 20% of the US grocery market. In rural America, it's often the only option. Small businesses can't compete. When Walmart moves into a town, local stores close within 18 months. The Waltons didn't just inherit a company, they inherited market dominance. The Koch family, $121 billion. They control Koch Industries, one of the largest private companies on earth, oil refining, chemicals, pipelines, manufacturing. But their real power isn't in business, it's in politics. The Koch brothers, Charles and the late David, spent over $1 billion funding political campaigns, think tanks, and lobbyists. They shaped energy policy, tax law, and environmental regulation to benefit their empire. They didn't win in a free market, they rewrote the rules of the market. Carlos Slim, Mexico, net worth $90 billion. He controls 70% of Mexico's telecom industry through América Móvil. If you live in Mexico and use a phone, you're paying Carlos Slim. How did he get that monopoly? In the 1990s, when Mexico privatized state-run telecom, Slim bought it, with help from politicians he was close to. Once he owned it, he crushed competition, kept prices high, and became the richest man in Mexico. This is how monopolies work. They don't innovate, they dominate, and they use power, political, economic, legal, to stay on top.
The Oxfam report found that 18% of billionaire wealth comes from this model. Entire industries controlled by a handful of families. Competition eliminated, prices inflated, workers exploited. And you, the consumer, the worker, the citizen, have no choice but to pay them. But as bad as monopolies are, there's a third category that's even darker: corruption. Corruption is harder to measure. It hides in offshore accounts, shell companies, and backroom deals. But Oxfam estimates that 6% of billionaire wealth, around $850 billion, comes from political connections and illegal activity. Let's talk about Russia. After the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, state-owned industries were privatized: oil, gas, steel, aluminum. These industries were worth hundreds of billions. Who got them? Not the Russian people. A small group of insiders, friends of Boris Yeltsin, bought them for pennies on the dollar. Overnight, they became billionaires. Roman Abramovich, oil and aluminum, net worth peaked at $14 billion. Mikhail Friedman, oil and banking, $15 billion. Alisher Usmanov, mining and telecom, $20 billion. These men didn't build companies, they extracted wealth from a collapsing state. This pattern repeats globally. In China, the richest people are tied to the Communist Party. In Saudi Arabia, the royal family controls the oil. In many African nations, mining billionaires are connected to corrupt officials who sell resource rights for bribes. This is the 6%. The ones who got rich not through work, not through innovation, but through proximity to power. And once they have that wealth, they use it to buy more power, more influence, more protection. So we've covered 60%: inheritance, monopoly, corruption. That leaves 40% who are supposedly self-made. But are they really? Let's talk about the billionaires who actually built something. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Oprah Winfrey. These are the ones held up as proof that anyone can make it. And yes, they built companies, they took risks, they worked hard. But let's be honest about the advantages they had. Elon Musk, net worth $500 billion. Did he build Tesla and SpaceX? Yes. Did he start from nothing? No. Elon was born in South Africa to an upper-middle-class family. His father owned an emerald mine. Elon went to elite private schools, then moved to Canada for university, and eventually transferred to the University of Pennsylvania, an Ivy League school. When he graduated, he had access to Silicon Valley investor networks. His first company, Zip2, got $3 million in funding from angel investors, including his father. After selling Zip2 and PayPal, Elon had $180 million. That's his starting capital for Tesla and SpaceX. Compare that to the average American, who graduates with $30,000 in debt and no investor connections. Jeff Bezos, net worth $235 billion. Started Amazon in his garage, right? Sort of. Jeff went to Princeton, worked on Wall Street at D.E. Shaw, one of the most elite hedge funds in the world. When he started Amazon, his parents gave him $245,000 to get it off the ground. The average American household has $8,000 in savings. Bezos had connections, capital, and an Ivy League education. That's not nothing. Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, worth $150 billion. Buffett's father was a U.S. congressman. Warren went to Columbia Business School, where he studied under Benjamin Graham, the father of value investing. At age 25, Buffett had already been mentored by the greatest investor alive and had a network of wealthy clients from his father's connections. The point is this: yes, these people worked hard. Yes, they built empires. But they didn't start from zero. They had education, capital, networks, safety nets.
The Oxfam report doesn't deny that 40% of billionaires built their own wealth, but it asks a critical question. How much of that success was talent and how much was privilege? Because here's the truth. There are millions of people just as smart, just as hardworking, just as innovative as Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, but they were born in the wrong country, the wrong neighborhood, the wrong family, and they'll never get the chance. So what does this mean for the rest of us? It means the game is rigged. Social mobility, the idea that hard work leads to success, is dying. In the 1940s, 90% of Americans earned more than their parents. Today, it's 50%, a coin flip. In 1980, the top 1% owned 25% of all wealth in the United States. Today, they own 35%, and it's growing. Meanwhile, the bottom 50% of Americans own just 2% of the wealth, combined. Let me put that in perspective. The three richest Americans, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Larry Ellison, have a combined net worth of $850 billion. The bottom 50% of Americans, 165 million people, have a combined net worth of $3.7 trillion. That means 3 people have 23% of the wealth of 165 million people. And it's getting worse. Oxfam predicts that within the next decade, by 2034, the world will have its first trillionaire, one person, with $1 trillion, while 700 million people live on less than $2 a day. This isn't just an economic issue, it's a moral one. When wealth concentrates at the top, democracy weakens, because billionaires don't just have money, they have power. They fund politicians, they own media companies, they lobby for laws that protect their wealth and punish workers. In the United States, billionaires paid an average tax rate of 8% in 2021. The average American paid 13%. Warren Buffett famously said, "My secretary pays a higher tax rate than I do." And he's right. This is the consequence of unchecked wealth accumulation, a system where the richest pay the least, where monopolies crush competition, where inheritance creates dynasties that last centuries, and where the rest of us are told to work harder. So here's the question we have to ask. Should billionaires exist? Not are they good or bad people, not did they work hard, but should any single person control $100 billion, $200 billion, $500 billion? Because here's what that money could do. Jeff Bezos' $235 billion could pay for every American's healthcare for an entire year. Elon Musk's $500 billion could end world hunger for 15 years.
The Walton family's $404 billion could give every Walmart worker a $100,000 bonus and still leave them with $300 billion. But they don't, and they won't, because the system isn't designed to distribute wealth, it's designed to concentrate it. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm not here to say billionaires are evil or eat the rich. I'm here to show you the data, the facts, the truth. 60% of billionaire wealth is inherited, monopolized, or stolen. 40% had significant advantages most people will never have, and 100% operate in a system designed to keep wealth at the top. So the next time you see a headline celebrating a self-made billionaire, the next time someone tells you to work harder and you'll be rich too, the next time a billionaire tells you they earned every penny, remember this: the game is rigged, the doors are closing, and the new aristocracy is here. The question is, what are we going to do about it? If this video changed how you see wealth, hit subscribe, because we're going to keep pulling back the curtain on the systems that keep you exactly where you are. Next up, how Elon Musk went from $24 billion to $500 billion in 5 years, and whether he actually earned it. See you there.